Lesson 92. The two types of auxiliary verb. Primary. Modal. What are the two basic types of auxiliary verb in English?
The two basic types of auxiliary verb in English are primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries.
What are the primary auxiliaries?
The primary auxiliaries are the verbs be, have, and do.
When do we use the auxiliary be?
We use the auxiliary be to make the continuous tenses and the passive voice.
Give me an example, please.
I am speaking English now. This book was printed in England.
When do we use the auxiliary have?
We use the auxiliary have for the perfect tenses.
Give me an example, please.
He has gone to Scotland.
When do we use the auxiliary do?
We use the auxiliary do for the present simple and past simple.
Give me an example, please.
I don't speak Spanish. Did she eat the pasta?
What are the 10 common modals?
The 10 common modals are can, could, will, would, may, might, shall, should, must, and ought.
What ideas do modals normally express?
Modals normally express ideas about necessity or possibility.
Now, I will give you a sentence, and you say a sentence with the same meaning, but with a modal. John is able to speak French.
John can speak French.
Perhaps he works in a bank.
He may, or might, work in a bank.
It is necessary for me to go to bed now.
I must go to bed now.
You are not allowed to smoke in this building.
You can't, or mustn't, smoke in this building.
What do we put after a modal?
We put the infinitive without to after a modal.
Give me an example, please.
I must send this email today.
Which modal is the only exception to this rule?
Ought is the only exception to this rule.
Give me an example, please.
I ought to see a doctor.
Set. What does the word set mean?
The word set means...
How long is the time set for a game of football?
The time set for a game of football is 90 minutes. That is 45 minutes each way.
What kind of life do you think is better? A life where you have a set time for doing everything, such as eating, sleeping, etc., or a life where you do these things whenever you want?
I think a life where you have a set time for doing everything, such as eating, sleeping, etc., is better than a life where you do these things whenever you want.
What did I set down on the table when I came into the room at the beginning of the lesson?
You set your book down on the table when you came into the room at the beginning of the lesson.
If your watch isn't showing the right time, what do you have to do?
If my watch isn't showing the right time, I have to set it right.
Sunrise. Sunset. What time is sunrise at the moment?
Sunrise is at about 7 a.m. at the moment.
And what time is sunset?
Sunset is at about 6 p.m.
Duty. Society. On duty. Off duty. Driver. Fine. What do you consider to be the duty a person owes to the society in which they live?
I consider that the duty a person owes to the society in which they live is to be honest, hard-working, etc.
What are the duties of a policeman?
The duties of a policeman are to give people help and information, catch criminals, etc.
Do policemen wear their uniforms when they're off duty?
No, policemen don't wear their uniforms when they're off duty. They only wear them when they're on duty.
If you brought a foreign car into this country, would you have to pay duty on it?
Yes, if I brought a foreign car into this country, I'd have to pay duty on it.
And if you didn't pay, what'd happen?
If I didn't pay, they might make me pay a fine, and even take the car away from me.
Various. What are the various ways of learning a language?
The various ways of learning a language are at school with a teacher, going to the country where the language is spoken, practicing with a friend, listening to the radio, watching TV, etc.
Entertainment. Is there much entertainment for teenagers in your hometown?
Yes, there is a lot of entertainment for teenagers in my hometown.
Weight. Equal. Is the weight of these two chairs about equal?
Yes, the weight of these two chairs is about equal.
Operate. Operation. Would you find it interesting to operate a factory machine?
No, I wouldn't find it interesting to operate a factory machine.
Why not?
Because you do the same thing again and again.
Have you ever had an operation in hospital?
Yes, I've had an operation in hospital.